Hello and welcome back to Alternative Programming. I'm your host, Jackuwarz. Last time in Alternative Programming, we went over my retrospective of the F-Zero franchise with some Tetris gameplay. Here we're going to continue to mix up the gameplay. We're playing Bug Fables. I briefly showed on screen the medals that I have equipped because I'm taking them into the Cave of Trials. It's the 50 battle gauntlet. I decided to flash forward here because just like in Paper Mario with its Pit of 100 Trials, the first few levels were pretty easy. So I jumped forward all the way to 44-ish. And here we are. Gonna get into some battles here. Well, that's gonna be in the background. And also, not really too much of spoilers. Don't worry about spoilers in the gameplay. It's just the Cave of Trials, no story progression. This is well after the main quest of the story is done. And I guess for style points too, there's this optional companion that you can get called Chomper. I didn't decide to get that. Decided to go through the entire Cave of Trials without it, and whatever badge loadout or medal loadout that I wanted. Didn't use the usual like poison V. And then just have medals where V is poison, then her attack is shot through the roof. Now I didn't do any of that. Did a bare bones, those fisticuffs, bare knuckles, white knuckles. Okay, so it took me a whole 2 minutes, minute and a half, just to explain the gameplay. So today's topic, or should I say this week's topic, we're gonna do a smorgasbord of some Nintendo RPG franchises. On the list here is Earthbound, Fire Emblem, and then we're also throwing in the Mario RPGs because I think combined Earthbound and Fire Emblem won't take me too long to explain. So we'll start with Earthbound. I think just like with most franchises, I was first introduced to Earthbound through Super Smash Bros. Ness was in the first Smash Bros. In 64. Didn't really think too much about Ness. I thought he looked like a very similar character to Mario. Red hat, red shirt. I didn't really think about the games that he was in. And I want to say it didn't take me until sometime when I had the Wii U, where I had more recognition of Ness. Well, outside of more Smash Brothers, of course. Smash Brothers was my only way of knowing about Earthbound in any form of capacity, with Ness representing the franchise, you know, in Melee and Brawl. But then, as for the actual games, I wouldn't pay attention to those until when I got the Wii U, and then Jamie decided to buy Earthbound for the Wii U Virtual Console, because I heard that Earthbound on the original Super Nintendo isn't quite the easiest game to get. That you're much better off just getting the Wii U Virtual Console, playing it there. So I did. As for my experience playing it, I never played Earthbound. It's definitely one of those games you should play before you die, I think. But there is a brief video I did a while back, maybe in 2016, probably 2017, where there's a save file that Jamie had, and it was right before the final battle against Gygus. So what I thought would be a cool idea is me never playing a single minute of Earthbound. Let's just try and get to Gygus, just like that. So that made for a pretty interesting stream. Todd and Gerald, the masterminds of Earthbound and the Game Master Guys server, other than Jamie, those two were witnessing the whole thing, and yeah, I didn't get too far. If you want to check out that streamer video, I may or may not have it in the description box or in the cards in the top right. So a pretty short entry for Earthbound. It was definitely a unique concept for a Nintendo franchise at its time. It's got some dark fantasy elements, something that I feel like we're losing in today's media. And really, you'll find all that's being found in Shonen Jump anime. But that's my take on Earthbound. I'm with everybody that really wishes that you get Mother 3 localized, but I guess what we got right now with the fan dub, or the fan translation, I think that's the best we're gonna get. Not sure what Nintendo can do with the Earthbound franchise. Kind of like with F-Zero and Star Fox in a way. Not much Nintendo could do with those franchises. But getting into another RPG, Fire Emblem. This one, just like Earthbound, I was first introduced to through Smash Brothers, Marth and Roy in Melee. I was I wondered why both of them characters were speaking Japanese and they weren't speaking English like the rest of the characters. And I also noticed the language swap. We can play the game in Japanese if you wanted to, and that was that didn't do anything, of course. I don't think too much about the Fire Emblem characters or Fire Emblem franchise, just only through Smash Brothers. I want to say until just like Earthbound, sometime during the Wii U era is when I started delving deeper into the Fire Emblem games. I would never go ahead and play any of these games as of this year, this recording. But if somebody's gonna get me into the franchise, it's definitely, hey Shamar, how you doing? You're the one that's gonna probably get me into the Fire Emblem if I do decide to. But for now, I'm gonna stick with what I got. And if I ever get around to say deciding, hey, today's the day I'm gonna get into the Fire Emblem franchise, then I'll probably I'll just cede myself to you for help in knowing everything I need to know. Although I will say this, I do know for a fact that Fire Emblem Awakening, it was going to be the last game in the franchise, but then it sold really well, performed really well, and then instead it just became the renaissance for the whole franchise, and now we have a lot more games after that, like Fire Emblem Fates, and then Fire Emblem Three Houses, and a plethora of more Fire Emblem characters in Smash Brothers as well. But that's a topic for a separate video. But yeah, just like Earthbound, not too much I can really add to Fire Emblem. One thing that really steers me away from Fire Emblem, more so than say Earthbound, it's just that it has the same. I see it having a similar setting to The Legend of Zelda. Looks like a medieval kind of a distant past kind of setting with little technological advancements. You know, those kind of settings that kind of off-puts me. I wish that settings would have a little bit more technological advancement, something a little bit more modern setting, or maybe some sci-fi. You know, games with those kind of settings I'd be more into, or maybe a fictional fantasy like in Bug Fables. I don't know. I might sound a little hypocritical about what kind of setting I want, but yeah, just hear me out on that. You know, the whole sword fantasy dragon kind of fighting thing. I feel like that kind of genre has been done to death, and I think those are the ones that really off-put me. And that kind of idea, that kind of strikes me with Fire Emblem. But anyways, I think we're getting to this is the meat and the potatoes of this commentary. I just got through, it took me nearly 9 minutes just to do Fire Emblem Earthbound. Okay, I can breeze through the Mario RPGs. Okay, so, I think, I briefly played, Paper Mario 64. It was at a hotel. It was at the same time when I was, at this place where I was renting the, what was I renting? It was, I was at the hotel, and I was, doing the demo kiosk. Like, they had the built-in demo kiosk for N64 games that you can, play for a brief moment of time. Yeah, it was, Paper Mario was one of those. And then in, say, 2009 is when I actually got the game on Virtual Console and thoroughly played through the game. And then it was at that point where I realized, oh, there's action commands. And the action commands in this game looks a lot similar to Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, because now that I recall, before I got the game on Virtual Console, I played Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door and realized The Thousand Year Door was an amazing game up until the point in where I got into Chapter 2, and then there's this really tricky area in Boggly Woods where you have to make a blind maneuver in this little corner of the area. It was I won't say it was the panel right before Madame Flurry's house. So yeah, you gotta do some weird maneuver there just so I can progress. And back then, my first playthrough, I didn't know that, and so I just gave up on trying to figure out what to do in that area so you can raise the paper airplane. And then I just left Boggly Woods, took Punio with me to Rogueport, and then messed around with whatever game left I can do, like the Pit of 100 Trials there. And then I guess not even the instruction manual helped me get through that area. It was a very convoluted puzzle to solve just to get to the next area. And I think some fidgeting and just trying to figuring it out on my own, that's how I eventually got that solved. And so I eventually played the game as normal. I think my dad actually helped me play through, or he helped get me through most of the game, especially chapters 3 all the way to the end, I think. So that was amazing. He also did the same thing for Donkey Kong 64 in my first playthrough of the game. And so years gone by, I want to say 2008, probably 2009, but we'll go with 2008. That was when I played Super Paper Mario, when I rented it from one of my friends' friends. I enjoyed that game, loved every second of it. But I guess one thing I didn't touch on in the first episode of my retrospective of the Mario games, is the Mario RPG games. My first experience playing the Mario and Luigi RPGs was, of course, Mario Superstar Saga. It was on a friend's Game Boy Advance SP, and what was it? This was in 2008 when I was living in North Carolina, California. Somebody, this one friend of mine, he had a Game Boy Advance SP. And the one thing that struck me as really weird with Superstar Saga is that if you're gonna first strike an enemy, you have to make sure that the Mario brother in the back is also jumping, because if that Mario brother in the back touches the enemy, doesn't matter if they're facing the enemy or not, then you're immobilized, and then you don't get the first strike. It's just it registers as the enemy getting the first strike, which I thought was really weird, kind of a weird design. And I think I didn't get to play all the way through. I just got to play only a few minutes that first time, where I was mentioning about the weirdness about first striking an enemy properly. It would be Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, the second installment, where I would get a thorough run through of the game. One thing I found really interesting about the very final area is that the way it's structured out, you have to have stuff travel back in time, kind of like a state save situation, just so you can get to a previous area, because backtracking in the certain area triggers the final boss. I thought that was really weird. And there's some other, because my first run through Partners in Time, I found some difficulty spikes, like the boss on the very top of the mountain thwomp, the mist thwomp or something. I thought it took me several attempts just to beat that boss. So I didn't I didn't think my stats were good enough to get past, or something. Maybe I wasn't using the right bros items or something. And then the next big difficulty spike, and this would bring my first ever run through of the game to a halt, is the part right when you arrive in Toad Town. One thing I did not expect was the shroob droids in Toad Town in the past to hit like Mack trucks and just make every encounter a nightmare. Plus, to make it even worse, the bros and the babies split apart. So I mean, it meant you're more of a sitting duck, because when you're not together with the 4 quintuplets, Jug Conroy I think explained it best, then you know you don't stand much of a chance against most of the enemies and partners in time. I think we could fit one more. We could get through the next 2 Mario and Luigi games. It's going to be Bowser's Inside Story and Dream Team. We'll start with Bowser's Inside Story. So I rented the game when it first came out in 2009 from Blockbuster. If I recall, that might have been my last ever game I've rented from Blockbuster before I would move out of California and into North Carolina, which I don't think I've ever... there wasn't a Blockbuster nearby there, so I wasn't able to continue my Blockbuster renaissance there. So that was the end of Blockbuster with Bowser's Inside Story, but I was able to play through just about all of Bowser's Inside Story before I had to turn back in the game. I love the heck out of Bowser's Inside Story. Played it as much as I could if I had the opportunity to. Just like in 2019, I think, or sooner, 2018, 2019, I think that's when they re-released Bowser's Inside Story for the 3DS, and with the Bowser Jr.'s Journey remake. That was great. I got it on the new 2DS XL, but actually, that game I have yet to complete. I think I stopped at Peach's Castle Grounds, where I just got Bowser back from this being trapped in the safe, and I think that's where I left off. And I think the only reason why I left off there is just because of lost interest and just moved on to other games and other projects. I could definitely go back to it, but now I gotta relearn everything at such a late point in the game, so that's gonna feel really weird. And then we'll sprinkle on Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I thought that I could just marathon all of the Mario and Luigi games leading up to Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. I thought because I rented, and so I rented Dream Team from GameFly, and I thought I can just complete Dream Team in maybe a day or 2. Oh, I was wrong. One thing I very much forgot about Mario & Luigi Dream Team is that it is a big game, long game. We're talking 40 hours here, so no way I was going to be able to beat Dream Team in a day or 2. Instead, it took me about 4 or 5 days, which was most of my subscription time with GameFly, and so I never got to Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. And then looking at a few videos, mainly the ones where it has the glitch compilation from Son of a Glitch, it shows that I learned that through that video that Mario & Luigi Paper Jam is a very buggy game with some functional issues. And then comparing it to the previous Mario & Luigi games, then you can see there's a drop off in quality, and the game is not as spectacular as the previous Mario & Luigi games. And so I never, to this day, I've yet to try out Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. I could definitely give it a try if I have the time, get around to it, and I'm not making alternative programming and NASCAR Fantasy Live preview videos, or building tracks and attending college online. Yeah, definitely got a lot on my plate. I just wish that I have enough room to play more games, just free up that backlog. But I think that's going to be it. That's all I got in terms of my retrospects on RPG related games, not relating to Pokemon, that were released from Nintendo. And just rather than having an empty retrospect on franchises like Earthbound and Fire Emblem, I just give you my brief thoughts and my brief exposure or time playing Fire Emblem, whether it be someone or just me messing around on someone else's save file. So I'll wrap this commentary up. Thank you for watching. Next time we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about on alternative programming? Alright, so it says here we're going to be doing another smorgasbord of retrospectives. It's going to be with Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, and then we'll top it off with Metal Gear Solid. That ought to be interesting. Look forward to that. See you guys next time.